Construction options.
Yes, sir. Waiting order. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Affirmative.
Building. Preparing.
Medic reporting.
Our base is under attack. Unit lost. Construction complete. Building. Unit repaired. Repairing. Training. Construction complete. Unit ready. Training. Repairing. Unit ready. Unit repaired. Repairing. Building. Unit repaired.
Waiting or knowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge.
Repairing.
Yes, sir. Reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Affirmative. Affirmative.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Reporting. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Construction complete.
Yes, sir. I'm there. Let's rock.
Yes, sir. Moving out.
Unit
Yes,
lost.
sir. Acknowledged.
Building. Repairing. Repairing.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Repairing.
Yes, sir.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Repairing. Building. Repairing.
Reporting.
Yes, sir.
Unit
Affirmative.
repaired.
Affirmative.
Our base is under attack. Repairing. Unit ready. Building. Repairing.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting.
Repairing.
Acknowledged. Yes,
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Repairing.
Waiting orders. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Reporting. Acknowledged.
Unit repaired.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Insufficient
Affirmative.
funds. Building.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Repairing.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Vehicle. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready. Building.
Vehicle affirmative. Affirmative.
Vehicle.
Construction
Acknowledged.
complete.
Yes,
Vehicle
sir.
reporting.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Building. Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Vehicle. Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Knowledge.
Repairing. Building. Unit repaired. Construction complete. Repairing. Insufficient funds. Our base is under attack. Repairing.
Reporting. Affirmative.
Insufficient funds.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged.
Repairing. 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 Unit repaired. Repairing. Unit ready. Building. Repairing. Unit
Reporting.
repaired.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir.
Repair.
Acknowledged.
Insufficient funds.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged.
Repairing.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Insufficient
Acknowledged.
funds.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative.
Repairing.
Acknowledged.
Repaired.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Repairing.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
repaired.
Affirmative.
Repaired.
Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Acknowledged.
Insufficient
Affirmative.
funds.
Affirmative.
Ready and
Unit
waiting. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Repairing. Construction
Affirmative.
complete.
Affirmative.
Unit repaired.
Acknowledged.
Repair.
Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative.
Unit repaired.
Acknowledged. Ready and waiting. Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Our base is under attack.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Repairing.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Soon we will stand.
Yes, sir.
Soon we will stand.
Affirmative.
Soon we will stand invincible. Soon
Yes,
we
sir.
will stand. Soon we will stand. Soon we will stand
Building.
invincible. If you fail,
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
do not return.
Repairing.
Ready and waiting. Very well.
Silos
If you
needed.
fail,
Unit repaired.
do not return.
Building. Construction complete. Repairing. Silos needed.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Awaiting orders. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Unit repaired. Unit
Vehicle
ready.
report. Affirmative.
Building. Repairing.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Silos needed. Building. Unit ready. Unit repaired. Building. Repairing. Unit
Yes, sir.
repaired.
Affirmative.
Construction
Affirmative.
complete.
Awaiting orders. Acknowledged.
Shake it,
Repairing.
baby!
Unit repaired. Building. Unit ready. Building.
Reporting. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Awaiting orders. Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Training. Repairing. Unit ready. Building. Construction complete. Unit repaired. Repairing. Unit ready. Training. New construction options.
Howdy. Sure thing, boss.
Unit ready.
Commander.
King and country. Indeed. Indeed.
Unit
Yes, sir.
prepared.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Awaiting
Unit
orders.
Take it,
ready.
baby.
Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir. On my way. Indeed. For king and country. Indeed. 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 For king and country.
Training.
Indeed. On my way. For king and country. Indeed. For king and country. On my way. For king and country. Indeed.
Unit ready.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Acknowledge. 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 Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Base
Acknowledge.
is under attack.
Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledge. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Commander. Indeed. For king and country. Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Silos
Yes, sir.
needed.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Vehicle reporting.
Silos needed.
Affirmative.
Commander. For king and country. Indeed.
Unit lost.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Silos
Affirmative.
needed.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit
Affirmative.
lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Silos
Affirmative.
needed.
Acknowledged.
Ready and waiting.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Silos needed.
Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost. Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Silos needed.
Reporting orders. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Vehicle
Waiting
reporting.
orders.
Unit lost. Silos needed. Unit ready.
Awaiting orders.
Building.
Acknowledged. Awaiting order. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Reporting. Affirmative. Reporting.
Unit
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged.
Repairing. Repairing. Building. Unit ready.
Awaiting orders.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Construction
Reporting.
complete.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Silos.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Our base is under attack. Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged.
Structure sold.
Reporting. Yes, sir.
Take it, baby.
Reinforcements have arrived. Unit ready. Building.
Awaiting order. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Silos needed. Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit lost. Silos needed.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Silos needed.
Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Building. Silos needed. Building. Silos needed. Construction complete. Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative.
ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Silos needed.
Acknowledged.
Silos.
Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
Silos needed.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative.
Silos.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Silos needed. Unit ready. Building.
Acknowledged.
Silos needed.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Acknowledged. 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 Acknowledged.
Unit
Acknowledged.
ready. Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir.
Silos needed.
Acknowledged.
Vehicle reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Reporting.
Unit ready.
Affirmative.
Building.
Vehicle reporting.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Yes, sir. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Awaiting orders. Affirmative.
Unit ready. Building.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Yes, sir. Affirmative. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Silos needed.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Silos
Acknowledged.
needed. Our base is
Yes,
under
sir.
attack. Silos needed.
Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Repairing. Silos needed.
Vehicle
Yes, sir.
reporting.
Affirmative.
Silos
Acknowledged.
needed.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir.
Unit lost.
Affirmative.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Silos
Acknowledged.
needed. Unit
Acknowledged.
lost.
Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit lost.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Affirmative.
lost.
Affirmative.
Unit
Affirmative.
ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Affirmative. Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Vehicle reporting. Affirmative.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Acknowledged.
Acknowledged.
Unit ready.
Acknowledged.
Building.
Acknowledged. Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative. 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 Yes, sir. Reporting. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Awaiting orders.
Reporting.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. 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 Affirmative. Acknowledged. Yes, sir. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Unit ready.
Reporting.
Building.
Acknowledged. Affirmative. Acknowledged. Affirmative.
Mission accomplished.